Hello, and welcome to my 71st video introducing my book, Debugging Shakespeare. The first thing to emphasise is that I believe the bard died in 1645 or 6, not in 1616 as in the traditional narrative. He was born in Nantwich and had a great many aliases, including many that were associated in some way with the word barn, B-A-R-N. In this video, we're going to look at one alias in particular that, as you will see, is associated with the word barn and the town of Nantwich and its 17th century salt industry. In earlier videos, I suggested that the bard passed on his genius to other polymaths such as John Wilkins and Walter Pope. I also suggested he was like the likely father of the poet John Milton, and possibly the father or grandfather of John Dryden, the poet laureate. In this video, you will not be too surprised, therefore, that I'm now suggesting there is a likelihood of him being the father of Sir Isaac Newton as well. If we now look at the family tree of Sir Isaac Newton, we see that he had a stepfather called Barnabas Smith, who died around the year 1646. The very same year as Sir Ranulph Crewe, who I regard as the final alias of the bard. We note that Newton's father, also called Isaac, died in 1642, the year before the mathematician was born. So if we assume his biological father was Barnabas Smith, we can trace his ancestors back to the 15th century, as Sir Thomas Smith, the Sheriff of Cheshire. Next we have Sir Laurence Smith from Hough near Nantwich, the High Sheriff of Cheshire. Then we have Sir Thomas Smith again, of this time of Hatherton, Nantwich, where salt extraction from brine took place. Looking at these locations on a map, we can see that many of the suggested aliases from my previous videos lie in the same geographic region, centred on the town of Nantwich. Returning to the family tree, we are then left with two more supposed generations before we reach Sir Isaac Newton and his birth in 1643. I propose that these are simply both aliases of Sir Thomas Smith, who did not die until around 1645, enabling him to sire Sir Isaac Newton with his mother Hannah. His mother reportedly said Isaac was a small child who could have fit into a quart jug. This might be an allusion to the bard's alias Thomas URquhart, and possibly to his Ur trademark. The idea that Sir Isaac Newton was a son of the polymath we call William Shakespeare is of course only speculation. Probably the only way we would know for sure is if we extracted DNA for some known artifact he had contact with, such as letters he has written or some manuscript he produced. We could then compare its DNA to that extracted from artifacts of one of the bard's many aliases. If we didn't suspect any relationships in the first place, this would of course never be undertaken. It still may never be undertaken even then, but then we will never know. Thank you for watching. There will be many more videos like this in the near future. The only way to get a full appreciation of who the bard really was is to buy my book. It is available only on Shopify. Please scan the QR code shown with your mobile and you will have a direct link to Shopify. Thank you.